Hi, and congratulations on completing week 3 in Biblical Interpretation 6625, I think is the name of this course. Historiography, I know that much. I really appreciate all the hard work and what everyone's doing. Grades continue to be very strong. Before I get into a review of week 3, let me hit a foreshadowing piece for week 4. I expect a conclusion on all of your assignments, whether it's a paper, whether it's a blog, whether it's a discussion post, and for week 4, whether it is a chart. So if you're asked to do a chart, or you're also going to be asked to do a word study, be sure to add a conclusion at the bottom of that chart. I do mark off for it. I will give you another warning on your week 4 introduction. But be sure to add a conclusion that summarizes your findings and brings your project together. I feel like that's just good academic work at the master's level and what we're expecting of you in this course. So with that said, let's go back to week 3. Scores were really good. I do kind of miss having our discussions. We didn't have one in week 2. We didn't have one in week 3, and we won't have one in week 4, and I kind of miss being able to see what everyone in class comes up with and talks about. But in week 4, we'll have 2 assignments, and in week 3, we had 2 assignments. As a quick kind of update on what I was looking for, the areas where we had deductions. If you are asked to find an article, like you were, that challenges the historicity of the Bible. So you wanted to find an article or a book that argues that the history contained in the Bible is either not accurate or in some way incorrect, and then argue against it. A good academic paper will have first a review, an honest review, summarizing the findings of that book or article, and then you would engage with it, saying where you think they're right and where you think they're wrong. But more than just what you think, it's what you think in an informed way, which means supported with evidence from other scholars and supported with evidence from the Bible. So I'm looking for kind of a 2 halves to your paper. First half is a review that is not stilted, but is a real, honest, just review, summary, what are they arguing? And then in the second half of the paper is your response, and your response needs to have academic support and biblical support. So if there were deductions, they tended to come from one of a few areas. Either A, I didn't feel like you did a solid job reviewing or summarizing the book or article. B, in your response, you didn't use academic support, or C, you didn't use biblical support. Now, the other one was if somebody picked an article that was inappropriate for the assignment, and there were deductions for that too. But those were the primary areas. So whenever, for this class or any other, you're asked to critique something, first give a review of what you're going to critique, and then go in and critique it. Then on doctrinal statements, our second assignment had 2 parts. You had to give a doctrinal statement of what you believe, and then you had to give a 2-page analysis of why. And even though a doctrinal statement is what you believe, it still needs to have biblical citations. You don't need to give the entire passage, but if you say, you talk about creation, then you need to say that Genesis 1:1 to Genesis 2:4 talk about creation. And so you want to have just the parentheses and the biblical passage that supports your statement of I believe. And a lot of folks didn't have that, and that I did count off a little bit for it. On the part 2 of that assignment, I felt most people were spot on and did a nice job engaging with the reading, outside research, and the Bible. So I thought those were good. And that's it for the week. Thanks for all the hard work. We're moving into that middle third of the course, week 4, and I look forward to seeing what everybody comes up with. Have a great day.